Actually, I see giving as a kind of like a cooperation. I don't really just see it as a one-way street. And because I also see these people that I'm helping as part of my community, as part of my society. So by doing that, it means that I'm also cooperating to them, and I also hope that one day these people can go out in their capacity to also help people. I think giving is also like legacy making, like legacy living also. Yeah, because you don't just stop there at one generation, but what I'm doing is like planting seeds for these different partners that I'm doing in hopes that next time they can also do that. So the giver can also be giving, at the same time be the giver as well. Like, yeah, so that relationship is like, it's a synergy.
Essentially for me, giving, is about giving money, time, attention, opportunities, giving experience, giving knowledge, right? It's about giving your life to for a greater purpose, for others, for society. For me, giving and all the values, I'm happy that I had the chance to practice them both in my day-to-day life and in my professional life.
It's interesting because when you start the journey, it was all about giving money. Then you realize that that has its pros and cons. Then then for me it moved to giving your time in terms of helping a particular situation. So for example, one of the things was spending a week, a year, going physically building a school or helping the children in a school. To me, the next big thing about giving is how do you give your skill?
As a young adult, okay, I do admit that some days it's really very hard to find time as well as the energy to still continue to do what I'm doing. And so giving becomes something that's a discipline to me. Like I have to tell myself that this is because this is what I want to do in the future, so I shouldn't compromise on like my working just because now maybe it's a little bit tight like time. I think it's more of like fine-tuning what giving or volunteering really is. Yeah, because I think a lot of times people think that, oh, I need to be physically there to like do the volunteering work, and like and maybe there's also a mismatch of like organizations, but there's always a lot of ways to also help this organization to volunteer better. Because working adults, they actually have a lot of skills. They can actually reach out to volunteering organizations and maybe like help them to come up with their marketing campaign, or like even like short like social media posts that they can do for the volunteering organization. Yeah, so a lot of people think that that is not giving because I don't really help that person that is giving, that person that's receiving.
I think the first thing is showing that it's possible. Other people have done it. So that's why it's important in our work to set a precedent, to create these success stories, and not only to create the success stories, but to talk about them, to show everyone that they can go and do it. It's not just the sacrifice that they're doing. It's looking at like what do they gain. It's looking at the inputs that they get, not just the dollar value. The reality is that everyone knows that for purpose or social business is the future of doing business. But the reality is that nobody knows what it's like. It's very hard to change the system. So you need to get the lever, work or talk the language that they understand.
I do think that companies could be a good catalyst. And I think I would thank PNG also in many ways, because we used to have almost every year we used to have a habitat for like the whole leadership team of PNG Asia. 3 days of physically building homes in Metro Manila. So we were like very senior, highly paid people, literally digging but it again builds camaraderie, builds morale, and we come back a lot more, and then we want to give. So that's the companies I think should encourage as a community, and as companies needs to be encouraged to do something. Of course, the government can facilitate like the IPC, right, where you get a tax reduction if you do this, etc. Those are facilitating, which is great, but companies should be more encouraged understanding how they can do more. Like I went through, it should be a journey. It should not be that, okay, I'm kind of finishing with my corporate life and now I'm going to start giving. I feel it should be a journey that needs to be inculcated right from the start. We really need to nurture that culture right through their organizations where they're working, their society, their community where they are, and so on and so forth, such that when they reach that stage, they should be able to take it to the next level.
I think it will be when at the start of like Avocado, because that's when I realized that all my accumulated knowledge and experiences, like I can share with people. There's still a big part of the NUS community who still wants to volunteer effectively. Like after we pinpoint to them the various parts, of their volunteering journey that can be done better, they are actually very willing to like cooperate with us as well as our school, to come for like our various conferences that we've organized to learn how to volunteer effectively, or at least to learn even at a deeper level their pitfalls.
The group is called E4E, Education for Everyone, or Executives who want to do the extraordinary. It is our personal program which we were completely focused on every year. And I tell people, when I was working in corporate, this week is easily the best week of that year. Yeah, because the rest of the week, of course, you have to hit your sales target and you have to meet your numbers and all that stuff that will happen. But this week, when you're with the children, is the best week of the year.
It gives me perspective, like a lot of perspectives in life. I really learn a lot, in terms of like giving the people around me and what I should see myself, my place on this place, my place on earth, that kind of thing.
It brought me a lot of things. It brought me friends, it brought me opportunities, it brought me connections that I never had before. It brought me confidence what I do is the right thing for me to do. This is a huge personal satisfaction. At the end of the day, I wouldn't continue this just for something that's sustainable. It's something that you also enjoy doing it, not just because you give.
Giving has given me a lot of happiness. You don't lose anything, right? You gain a lot of you gain satisfaction. You gain, like, at least personally for me, I have gained a huge sense of satisfaction. But as I said, I need to do more.
Mission is all about improving the quality of life of our employees and all the people we serve. At the same time, we also contribute to the economic, social and environmental development of the communities where we are present. So it's a single mission that has been driving Sodexo's business growth over the last 50 years, and that mission has not changed.
Pretty much we are property managers. We go around the different condos, we manage the sites, we make sure that the place is clean, we make sure that there are no defects, we make sure that the facilities are well managed. The purpose is to provide good jobs for Singaporeans through property services. That's the tagline. The mission we have is not just commercial, we have a 2020 mission, which is to create positive social impact for 1,000 families. That is within our overall arcing social mission already. So it's very clear that what we are trying to do is that our mission is not to acquire 1,000 properties or not to acquire 1,000 clients, but is to provide positive social impact to 1,000 families.
Corporate responsibility is very much integrated into our business, into our value proposition and so on. If you look at traditional philanthropy, it's mostly about companies run their business, they make their revenues, they make their profits. At the end of the day or at the end of the year, they cut a check or a donation based on the profits they make to a particular organization or to a set of organizations. We need to go beyond this traditional philanthropy. By that what we mean is in the act of doing the business on a daily basis. Every day as a business you're making revenues, you're making profits. In the act of doing the business on a daily basis, What are you contributing to the community? What are you contributing to the society? How do you bring value to the environment? So that we as a company grow, the community grows, and the local economy flourishes, ultimately creating better quality of life of the community and for us.
We strongly focus on giving back to the society. So I think how we do that is through providing good jobs for Singaporeans. We have a few different areas that on how we give back. So for example, we have the different clusters like mature workers, yellow ribbon, persons with special needs, and even to the extent of destitutes, working with destitutes, the homeless in Singapore. So there are a few different categories that we have. The skill sets are very different in how we train them, in how we deploy them for service, and how we follow up. So for every of our employee that we bring in, there has to be a proper system to manage their behavior, emotion, psychological behavior, as well as their social emotions.
Every year we do an inventory collection process of the various initiatives that we have done, both at the site level for every site, as well as at the country level. Who are the beneficiaries that we have impacted? What are the sustainability KPIs that we have contributed, and so on. Based on this, we measure year-on-year progress or hotbeds where things are not working so well, and therefore it needs some more acceleration to address and to take things forward. We've been doing this since 2009 till today, year on year, and our actions and our contributions around this meant that we have been rated externally by the Dow Jones Sustainability Index for the 12th consecutive year as the #1 in this industry of consumer services.
When a group of us came in, some of us with more social service background, some of us with a bit more community leadership background. Then we started taking the angle and say that, hey, you know, there are some sectors within the Singapore industries, security guards, cleaners, these are industries that require a bit more help. Because we are dealing with people of lower educational background, we are dealing with people with different social backgrounds. So is there more that we can do to help this group of people? So that's how the company took a shift, a direction towards this area.
We have packaged the Better Tomorrow 2025 into a set of 9 different commitments, which are very broad, very holistic, very global, and helping us get to 2025. It looked at all the trends, the 10 mega trends that are impacting Sodexo's business and therefore the market, from demographics to more people moving into cities, to people moving away from ownership to a shared economy, but also at the same time environmental issues and a few others. So all this were impacting the different topics that we as a company would work on corporate giving or corporate responsibility. Hunger and malnutrition is very important for a majority food services company like Sodexo. And the most recent survey says that close to 2/3 of the world's population suffering from hunger are based out of this particular continent of Asia. And if you look at Singapore itself, once again, several independent studies say that 10% of the Singaporean population are food insecure. So which means that as a big food services company, what can we do bigger in contributing to the community? One of the targets that we have set within this is to impact 100 million people by 2025.
I would say that we move towards green marking. I'm actually very excited over that because when our workers are able to not only do environmental cleaning, but they are really environmental specialists. Not just hygiene management, but specialists specializing in taking care of the top down of your building, making sure that your building is energy efficient, making sure that it's clean, making sure that everything in the property I can help homeowners, I can help property investors manage the value of their property. This is something that is very different from other companies really. We move towards that. I think we carve a blue ocean.